Welcome to Deb Talk with your host, Deb Darling. On this pod, I'll be asking the hard questions that life throws our way. What some are scared to talk about and others wish they did. Sex, cultura, kids being assholes, overeating, butt sex, shitty jobs, and so much more. I'm on this journey of getting to know myself and others. So come join me! Welcome to Deb Talk with your girl, Deb Darling. And I am here with my guest. Do you want to introduce yourself?
I am Coop from Birmingham of the Taken Out of Context podcast, and I'm happy to be here.
Well, welcome. I'm glad to have you. Welcome, welcome. Tell the people a little bit about you. Tell them about your podcast and all that good stuff, where they can find you, everything.
Okay, so first, Taken Out of Context, Outa is O-U-T-T-A. I'm from Birmingham, so we had to keep it real Birmingham, which is Alabama, for those who don't know. So I've been doing that for a little while, off and on about a year and a half. And the podcast itself is geared around, like, everything. Like, there's no one thing that we'll talk about because, I mean, it's taken out of context. So everything can be taken out of context. So I figured let's keep a broad topic. But, yeah, like I said, I'm from Alabama, and I just have fun doing podcasts.
Nice. And is it just you, or do you have any co-hosts?
It was just myself. I had co-hosts, and sometimes they pop in and out. So they're like permanent guest.
Nice.
But yeah, I'm available everywhere, like on Apple, Spotify, SoundCloud, where you name it, you can find it. It's everywhere.
And that's the same name for Instagram and Twitter and all that good stuff?
Oh, yeah. Well, Twitter, it is _TOC podcast. We're trying to figure out Twitter, but Instagram, you can definitely find me on there at Taken Out of Context podcast.
I will definitely put that in the description and all that good stuff so everyone can come find you.
Yeah, do that. And I'll do the same for you on my social media so
Nice.
We can help each other.
Thank you. And again, thank you so much for being here and supporting and helping me during this podcasting journey.
Oh, pleasure is all mine.
Yes.
We can learn together.
Yes, absolutely. So then let's slide right on into the weekly inquiry, which was, what is the definition of success and what does it take to get there, in your opinion?
Well, what is success? I truly believe that can be anything that you choose or you set out for it to be. It's up to you to define what success is, because it can be different between you and I and millions of other people. So you have to first find out what it is to you and achieve that and go for it. And how to get there, you first have to be accepting of failing. You have, because now I don't know anyone no one ever failed. So they may be like one in a million, but if so, kudos to you. But you really have to be stern and focused and understand that failing is a part of the lessons that you're going to learn. You just learn from it and continue going and going and going until you be successful. And once you make it, you just remember those lessons that you had to take in along the way and steady adapt to any changes that come your way.
Yeah, I feel that. Yeah, to me, success was your ultimate goal that you're ultimately happy with.
Yeah. Definitely.
Because if you're not happy, then are you really successful? I feel like success is more than just money. It's more than just anything that you can achieve. It's everything. It's the faith, the money, the happiness, the love. And if you don't have those things, then are you truly successful? You just have a piece of it. Not
that's very true. I was just going to say, so like you said, is money doesn't bring happiness.
Mm-hmm.
You see all the time, like with all these people who have the money, like NFL, NBA, all of that, and they go do something dumb and people will be like, why are they doing it? They got all the money. They're not happy. Like, they have the money, but you can only do so much and money can only do so much for you. So you got to be outside the box.
Mm-hmm. To me, thinking of that, you saying NFL, I think of Aaron Hernandez. He had signed such a big contract and then went out and killed someone.
Right.
And like multiple people and did so much dumb shit. And it was like, why? You had it all. You could have had so much more money and here you are. But it really comes down to the man was not happy. He was never happy. Right. And he was successful to everyone looking in, but within he was not successful. Within he was not happy. He was not nothing. So then now he is where he is. R.I.P. Well, not really to him because he was shitty, but to Lloyd. Yeah.
But yeah, so that's make me think about another thing. Like you can't wait for someone else to like solidify your successfulness, if that's a word. But you can't wait for somebody else to say, hey, now you're successful, or because truly is really what you define it as.
Kind of similar to like beauty's in the eye of the beholder.
Facts.
Success also is in the eye of the beholder, because for one person, success means, like what you're saying, it means one thing, and to the next, it might not. So, yeah.
It might be the money, you know?
That's true. Yeah. People say that when they don't have money. And then when they have the money, they're like, they realize, oh, damn, I'm not so healthy. Oh, damn, this is happening. That's happening. And they're like, well, money can't buy me happiness with all of these other things that are going wrong. Right. So until you have it, you don't really know.
Yeah, that's very, very true. Until you have it, you don't know. But you just got to stay focused and stay on your goals, and then you'll get it. Whatever it is to you, you'll get it. You just got to bunker down and adapt.
I feel that. So let's get on into the weekly shenanigans, which is where we discuss bullshit that we've seen on social media this week or things that we've heard. I've seen memes, pictures, video, whatever it is that really caught your eye that was on some shit. So for me, I read this story on Business Insider, and it was talking about the pandemic and how the world has changed forever. And that from now on, moving forward, things will not be going back to the way they used to be. We will be going to restaurants where there's going to be plastic table barriers where you can't even sit in front of people. You can't have big groups. I think about it like as I kept reading, it was just saying how you're not going to be able to go to bars anymore and get-togethers and then clubs and things like that because it's going to be so dangerous. And I was like, I'm not much of I have a kid. So ever since I had a kid, I haven't really gone out that much.
Right.
But I think of like all the younger people and think of like when I used to love going out and taking shots, and I used to smoke cigarettes way back when. So I used to always be like, oh, can I have a drag to like strangers? And now looking back, I'm like, I'm surprised I didn't have like herpes of the lip because I did that a lot. I would get drunk and just be so stupid.
Just enjoying life.
Yeah. But now, just the thought that no one else is going to be able to do the stupid shit I did.
Yeah.
Bittersweet.
I'm almost certain it's for the better, though.
No, definitely. It's saving a lot of people herpes. I haven't had it yet. I haven't had it. Hopefully never do. But yeah, definitely.
But yeah, off of that, I think like now today I seen where people were out shopping and everything. For me, I need at least 30 days, 30 to 60 days before I'm going out there, because I mean, we really don't know if it's really gone or what. So we're just sitting up here waiting pretty much. So I'll let everyone else go out there, do their thing, buy what you want to buy, and I'll still be at home going to work and all that good stuff. But you won't catch me out.
I have no intentions. I go out when it has to do with going to the grocery store, coming right back home. I went to the corner store the other day and I was like, I came home and I was coughing. I was like, fuck, I got it. I'm like, see, that's what I got. This is what happens when you go to the store and you're not supposed to go to the store. And
it's so nerve-wracking. It's like any single, like, I caught myself, I was at work, and then, like you said, a cough, and then you start feeling, I'm like, what's normal and what's not normal? I'm inhaling hard, trying to make sure that that's okay. And I'm just like, what is going on? So, you know, it definitely is taking a toll on us. So that's why I don't watch the news now, because it kind of
I stopped once all this stuff happened. I used to watch the news every morning before work, but my job, they canceled work because I work for a law firm, and he was like, "Hey, so we're closing." And I was like, "Okay, cool, great." So I stopped watching the news because every day was something new. But before they actually closed my job, people were still coming in. So I was just getting so paranoid with everything I was watching on the news, plus going to work. And then a lot of older people would come into my job. And I'm like, oh gosh, I'm going to get them sick. They're going to die. It's going to be my fault. I was like, gosh, and then I'm going to go home. Then I'm going to get my baby sick. Then she's going to, I had to stop. I had to, because I was just driving myself fucking nuts.
Yeah. And the news will do it. Then when they were like, there can be carriers and all this. And I'm like, well, I'm fine. So am I a carrier? It's like, I don't know. I was just like, let me cut this off. I'm fine without the TV.
I've been watching just shows. I don't watch live TV. Like, I get the notifications from Business Insider, and I very rarely open it. But like this specific one, because I haven't read so much on it, like period, after I stopped watching the news, I was like, oh, this sounds interesting, because like that kind of sucks, the fact that we'll never go back to normal. And I read it and I was like, this sucks. And I think of like, so I used to smoke weed, and I mean, I still kind of smoke weed, but the fact that you're no longer, I mean, people still do it, but you're not going to be able to pass a blunt anymore. No. You're not going to have sessions anymore. You can't, like, those things are like so crazy to me, but it makes sense.
No more match one.
Yeah, exactly. Or if you match one, you smoke yours, I smoke mine, and we can hang out and talk. It's no longer like fun. I remember telling my friend a couple of months ago, like 2 months ago, it was when this first started, I was telling him, I was like, hey, I'm going to come over and we can match. And he's like, oh, you want to die? I was like, no, I don't want to die. I don't think we're going to die. Are you sick? And he's like, no. And I was like, well, I'm not sick. And he's like, yeah, no, I'm good. You can stay over there. We'll smoke on the phone. So then we just started smoking on FaceTime every time we wanted to smoke. And I was like, this is very weird. I mean, we would do it before that, but because he lives like 45 minutes away from me. But it's fun to like smoke and match and chill and all that. Exactly. And now it's like, get away from me.
Yeah, it's like, that reminds me, like every Friday, me and my friends will get on Google Duo and just take shots. So that's how we hang out now. So just get a large group of people, maybe like 5 people, not too many, but we just all be on there and just take shots, and as if we were just at a kickback chilling.
Nice. That's cool. I can't do that right now because I'm like very much 6 months pregnant. But I was smoking, but I didn't know at the time. So don't judge me. People listening, don't judge me.
This is judgment-free zone.
Yes. So what is your shenanigans of the week?
Well, I really like the Verzuz. Are you keeping up with the Verzuz?
Yes, like I am.
The last one, Jill Scott and Erykah
Badu. I didn't get to see it.
I caught the tail end of it. I ain't know how long, but I caught the tail end of it, and it seemed to be pretty good. And I saw where they were saying that Michelle Obama even tuned in. It's kind of real cool to see how we are adapting to what's going on and still being entertained, since we can't do parties or whatever. So it's real cool to see this.
Yeah. Feels more personal.
Yeah, it really does. And it's just a new way of our new norm, kind of. So it's like, it's real cool to see us adapt and just overcome and still be creative. Like, who would have thought that we were looking at Instagram lives for our quote unquote concerts? But I tune in all the time. And then I saw today, they have another one coming up for
Ludacris and Nelly.
Yeah. So,
yes, I'm ready to see that.
Yeah, I'm ready too.
I was like, where can I order a jersey dress? Like, I really just want to go all out. I'm ready. I want a bandana. I like want to do the whole 9.
Yeah, because that's gonna be dope. That one's gonna be dope. All of them have been dope, except for that. What was the
Teddy Riley? Yeah, that was weird. I saw like part of it, and I was like, "All right, I'm out." Like, I'll just listen to it when it gets on title. I was like, "No, I'm good."
That wasn't it. They were trying to do too much.
Right. I was like, you could have just logged out, but they're older, so I was like, I figured they don't know.
Still trying to perform.
Right. Do you think, right, with all of these verses? So have you been keeping up with like the whole Tekashi 6ix9ine and like Meek Mill kind of beef?
Well,
So
I've been keeping up with it, but I've been seeing it.
It just keeps popping up. So I was like, it would be funny because 6ix9ine's been trolling the shit out of Meek Mill. So I was like, it'd be funny because Meek, I don't know, I don't listen to Tekashi 6ix9ine's music. Never have. No. Don't think I ever will. I'm a Meek Mill fan. Like, I like his music. Like, I'm here for that. I was like, it'd be funny if they did one. But I feel like it would stop in the middle and they would just start screaming at each other, like, for some reason. But it would be mad funny if they did. It would be very entertaining, and I think they would break the internet.
That would definitely break the internet. Mm-hmm. That would definitely.
Instagram would crash.
That Tekashi guy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Thoughts?
He's proud of being a snitch. He's accepting it. Like, he likes it. And he's back to his trolling ways. So it's like, okay. The way I feel about him, I don't care for him, but at the same time, I don't blame him for snitching. And if I was in his position, I would have also snitched because I know. Everyone that hears me say that, they're like, you're bugging. I'm like, I know, but he had no reason not to snitch. These people kidnapped him and his family. They had sex with his baby mama. They did all this stuff to him. So why keep quiet for these people that did this to you? It just doesn't make sense. If it was a short amount of time that he was going to get, it makes sense. Don't just shut up and do your time. He was about to do 50 years for these people. Would you do 50 years for somebody that did all those things to you? Keep it real. Keep it a buck. You would do 50 years? Okay, this is what I'm going to say. I wouldn't put myself around people who would do things or that we would be even facing 50 years, or I would be facing 50 years, 5 years, or 1 year, 60 days.
Anytime.
So I wouldn't put myself and then run around claiming it, and then you're not really living it. So, I mean, on both sides, true enough, they was extorting him, but they gave him protection. So, I mean, they were both equally responsible, but he shouldn't have been running with people that he really, you're not living the lifestyle. So why?
I feel that. I don't know. I get he shouldn't have, but I also get why he snitched. I don't know. I would tell. I don't know. Call me a snitch. I would tell. I dead ass would tell. I'm not about to do 50 years. If you could take off 49 of those years, who do I got to tell on? Who do I got to call? Who do I got to blame for this? Because I got to go.
He would did a year and a half, 2 years?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow, he told some good. But see, and then it's all the people. I mean, I guess it's okay because it's not okay. But I guess it's okay because everybody who would have done harm to him for snitching is the people he snitched on. Right. So now they locked up. So he kind of safe right now.
Well, we can't say that because so many people hate him. He can't. I mean, I don't know. Did you see the video of that girl that she posted a video saying that he moved into the house behind her house?
Nah.
It was on the Shade Room. She did a video. She's like, I came into my room and I looked out the window and Tekashi 6ix9ine moved into my backyard and took a video of him while he was taking pictures. Then I went on his Instagram and he actually had posted the pictures and you could see the background, the same background that she was taking a video of. I was like, oh shit. I don't know what city that is in, but my thought is you can't go back to New York. You can't go back to these places. He used to go to different cities and troll people. He can't do any of that because now people hate him for being a snitch. People are going to hate him even more and probably try and cause him some harm.
Yeah, I can imagine. But it's who's going to be his security team now?
No.
He's kind of...
Now he has to pay thousands and thousands for security. But I also think he's going to make so much money. So much more money now. If he was making a lot of money before and trolling and getting attention before, now he's going to get so much more. So I think it's going to be not even a dent in the money that he has for the security he has to pay for.
Yeah, he's definitely going to still get money because some people who don't, the younger people who may not believe in the no snitching policy. So, they still going to rock with him, but I never have. So it's not like I'm stopping. So
exactly.
He ain't gonna miss me.
Same. I'm he never got any of my views, any of my subs, any of my anything. I never listened to him before. I just was following this because it just keeps popping up. And I'm this is something that is just there. So I have to talk about it because it's very funny that everyone's so angry.
Yeah, that is something. But we'll see how it all plays out.
Right. So let's go into the weekly check-in. And that's about a current event and that you've seen on TV or a show or on social media or on the news or magazine, whatever that you thought was worth talking about. For me, I started watching The Walking Dead like recently. Are you a Walking Dead fan?
I used to, I used to be like all in on it, but now I fell off.
What is the last season you've seen?
What is 3?
Okay.
So I'm back.
Okay. Yeah. There's like supposed to be 10. I'm like, I thought you were gonna say like 8.
Like,
3.
That's what I know for a fact because I was binging them. So I may be further along than that, but I'm almost certain. Maybe like 3 or 5.
So I'm going to tell you about this episode, and then you'll remember or maybe not. So I'm going to talk about season 4, episode 15. And it was the 2 sisters, the little girls. They got like, I don't know, I think they entered in season 4. And one of the little sisters, she's the oldest one. She must be like 8 or 9. And then the other sister must be like 6 or 7. And the older sister, she thinks that the walkers are just people that look different. And they were brought up that even black, white, doesn't matter what they look like, people are people. But the other little girl, the younger one, realizes like these people are dead. These are not people. These are walkers. But the older one's like, no. And she keeps like naming them and trying to talk to them and all these things. So something happens to their camp, and it's her, the sister, the baby Judith, which is Rick, one of the main characters' daughter, Terrence, I believe his name is. Maybe that's not his name. And Carol. These are the 2 adults that are watching over these 3 kids. They were in this house and they were talking in a corner, and the older sister stabs the little sister. And she goes up to the 2 adults and she's like, so I did something, but I just want you guys to see that she's going to come back to life and she's going to play with me. So you guys can see they're real. Like, she's not dead. I didn't stab her in the head. She's not dead. And they're just looking at her and they're about to go shoot the little girl because obviously she's about to turn because she's dead. And the little girl pulls out a gun. The older sister pulls out the gun to the lady and she's like, no, you have to wait. You have to wait, because she was waiting for her to turn and be able to quote unquote play with her. So they go in. She's like, let me get the gun. She convinces her to give her the gun, and they go inside and the 2 adults are talking and they're like, we have to take her out because at this point she's a harm. We have a baby. Like, she thinks these people are like real. So the woman ends up taking her on a walk and telling her, turn around, pick some flowers. She's like, are you mad at me? She's like, no, I'm not mad at you. Just pick the flowers. And when she's picking, turned around crying that she's mad at her, she shoots her in the head. My thing and my weekly check-in was, would you do it? Would you shoot her in the head, or would you risk your life essentially because this little girl is now a risk? What would you do?
And you got to do what you got to do.
I was thinking the same thing.
Like, from what I remember in the shows or those episodes, they going to get you regardless if you don't kill them. So, and if they're going to turn, you got to go ahead and handle your business. So, yeah, I would have to go ahead and kill it. Mm-hmm. So you'll have to change it to it versus saying, like, I killed so-and-so.
Well, she killed a girl, a living girl. She didn't kill. Yeah, I was like, I would have to do that too. Because at this point, you have a baby. Like, what if she tries to kill the baby to prove a point, or tries to kill the adults to prove a point? It's like, you can't risk your life for this other kid.
Is that the season where they're still in the jail or something?
They had to escape the jail because they came and attacked and all that stuff.
Well, that's where I'm left at, in the jail somewhere.
So you're in 3 for sure. You left off in 3. Maybe 1 or 2 or 4, but definitely 3.
Okay. We get somewhere now.
Right? What about you? What was your weekly check-in?
Well, I remember on the news, everybody's seen it, I'm sure. Ahmaud Abery. Did I say that right? I think so. Ahmaud Abery. It's like, guy was just running. Well, at least we're not going to assume. So I'll say it's showing that he was just running, minding his business, and then was killed. So it's like, we we got to be mindful where we're currently living at and what the time we're living in, and know that not all places have changed and opened up their minds. So, and although we don't know what all took place, of course, there's only one side of the story, and it's going to obviously paint the narrative they want it to paint. So it's just like we have to move a little differently. And of course, since that has happened, like when I get on social media, I'm seeing all these violence with the police officers are doing stuff. So it's like now that has came back, and well, it never went away, but it wasn't in the limelight like it is now. So it's just that it's kind of not a good thing. Well, it's not a good thing at all. So It's just being mindful of where we are now and understanding that everyone isn't open-minded and all of that. So, but I do like how on his birthday, everyone was out running. And so doing the 2.23 miles. So that was real dope to see people still coming together of all races. So that was pretty dope to see.
Yeah. So you live in Alabama.
Yep.
I've heard a lot of things about Alabama being very racist. So what is your experience living there? Were you born there, grew up there? Like, what's your story? Like, where you live?
Yeah, I'm born and raised in the good old Birmingham, as we call it, the Magic City. And you still, like, Birmingham is pretty populated with blacks and whites and other nationalities and what have you. So I personally haven't had a lot of encounters like that. I mean, I've had some with like police officers or whatever. And like when they pull you over, they want to know, like, is this even your car? And then when you tell them like, yeah, this is my car. And they like, well, we'll see about that. And so it's like, and these are black officers also. So, so it's really crazy. And of course.
Are you ever scared?
Sometimes. Like, I'm more scared for my younger brothers than myself because I know I can handle myself. So, but when I see them, like they're driving now. So when they go out and like we were leaving the gym one night, it was like 10 o'clock at night and him and my other brother, they were finna drive home. And I don't know what made me think about it, but I was just like, I hope they get home safely. So it's something you be mindful of or you know about. But you just have to have faith that everything will be all right. But for the most part, I haven't had too many like negative racism or racist attacks. Well, no attacks at all, but I haven't had too many encounters, rather. That's what I should say of that. So that's just my opinion. But, you know, I got friends that I know a guy who he used to live across the street from us. And like one day I seen him and he just had all these bruises all over him. And he was just like, yeah, I got beat up by a group of people just walking down the strip. And because we have like on the south side, we can just go out and, well, we can't do that anymore, huh? Just go out and just drink and walk the strips or whatever. So, but yeah, and he said that he was walking to his car and they just beat him up and out of nowhere. And
was it a group of like white people?
He said they were white people. You know, I wasn't there, so you know. But I mean, I don't think he would lie about that. But I mean, but that side of town is majority white people. So, but it's just, I would think at some point people would decide to come together, like especially during this pandemic time. You would think that some of it, hopefully, on the other side of this pandemic, it'll be a change and see that we all need each other, and once we come together, we can pretty much be unstoppable. So you just got to be open-minded and hope for the best.
Yeah. I literally every day before my daughter's father leaves the house, I say, be safe. We're in Boston and like I hear Boston's racist, but like we haven't experienced anything like very blatant. Like I've had rude people, but I feel like I've had rude every race. Like I'm Hispanic and I've had rude Hispanics, rude white people, rude black people. Like it's not a specific to my race, and the same with him. But I always just, especially with social media, you can't help but like worry. So anytime he leaves, I'm always just like, be safe, drive safe, like the whole night. And he and I are not together, but I always, even when he just goes to do his thing, I'm just like, be safe, make right decisions.
You gotta be safe.
Definitely, because
you have to make the right decisions.
Because one quick move and like a couple feel endangered. One quick move, a person will think that he is in all his right to do a citizen's arrest. And that's what happened with him, with the jogger. I don't know how to pronounce his name, so I don't want to butcher it. But
Ahmaud Abery?
Ahmaud. Yeah, what happened with him? The guy said that he was doing a citizen's arrest and ended up doing that because he used to be a police or something like that, a cop. Yeah. And it's like, that's not fair.
It's not at all.
People should not have that right to be able to stop someone just because they think someone is doing something or did something.
Right. I always, growing up, I used to hear about the people say, I'll do a citizen's arrest. I always thought that was a joke. I never thought that a citizen's arrest was like something legit. I mean, you just call the police, let them handle it. So why do we feel to take some things into our own hands? I wouldn't.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I would never. I think I never stay quiet. So if I see something, I say something. I'm very nosy like that. Like, I don't know. I guess one example on the bus, this woman was like cussing out her daughter and she was little. And I looked at her, I was like, she's a little girl. And immediately in my head, I was just like, Deborah, mind your fucking business. Like, this has nothing to do with you. Like, she raises, I didn't have a daughter at the time, but I've always said if I had a kid, I would never disrespect them in public. Like, if I'm about to whoop her ass, I'm taking her to the bathroom or I'm going to wait till we get home. But I'm never going to blatantly make them feel less than in front of absolutely anyone. So when I said that, of course, she started coming at me like, mind your business and this and this. And I was like, I'll mind my business, but like pick on somebody your own size. She's like a little girl. And then that was like the most I've done. Like I've done that. I've said things in different situations where I'll just like say something like at Dollar Tree. I've said like people were arguing and I was like, we're at the store. Can we just pay and leave? Like shit like that. But I would never be like, oh, you're stealing? Nope. Stop. I've seen people steal and I'm like, I feel you.
Like make sure you get some of mine.
Right. I'm like, do you have room in that bag? Right.
In that case, when you see them talking to their child like that, I mean, one side of you may say mind your business, but at the same time, it's like, that's a child. So I don't blame you for that one.
Yeah, like you always think, you watch Netflix?
Yes.
Everyone watches Netflix, but do you do recreational sadness?
No.
Recreational sadness is when you watch things that make you sad.
Oh, definitely
not. So there was this documentary of Gabriel Fernandez. There's this little boy that ended up getting killed by his parents. Well, by the mom and the boyfriend. And after years of that happening with the girl on the bus, I was like, I feel bad for saying something because I don't know if that woman went back home and started doing something to her or beating that little girl's ass or doing something just because I got her upset on that bus. So that always came back to my head like that, watching that documentary. I love recreational sadness. I love things that make me cry. I love things that make me sad. I don't know why.
I thought it was a show at first.
No, it's just being sad on purpose.
No, I haven't. No, I don't know.
Well, now you know that term, so you can use it.
I might do a poll on Instagram and see how many people, so I can see what I've been missing out on.
You've been missing out on a lot. You got a lot of tears to get out.
Yeah, gotta be that emotion.
I'm literally about to cry right now just thinking about recreational sadness right now. I'm just kidding.
I was like, do we continue talking about this or do we change subjects?
No, we have to, because if not, I'm going to tissues. I am going to cry. No, I'm not. Not right now, at least.
We don't want that to happen.
No, we don't. We do not.
So what other show? See, here I am about egging on, but what other shows is I'm good for your recreational sadness?
This Is Us.
This down.
You know what I can do for you? I could send you a list of all the recreational sadness TV that I watch, which is a lot. And you can just get on and hop on the wave.
Yeah, I'm going to do that.
Cool. Sounds good. Be on the lookout for my email.
I got you.
No, I got you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. So we're going to get to my last segment, which is kind of funny because it's listeners' questions and answers and listener letters and all that shit. Yeah, I've got none. So to the people, to the people out there that are listening to this, send me an email with your stories or questions or anything you really want, just so I can read it on the podcast to deb.talk@gmail.com. Again, that's deb.talk with an extra K at the end at gmail.com. And I'll read it on the podcast. Yeah, I want you to...
That's gonna be dope.
I hope so, because like I also have been messing up because I say it. I've been recording a few different episodes and I've yet to like post anything on the social media like, hey, send me your emails. And then I keep saying on here like, hey, I don't have anything. But it's like, I be messing up. I suck. Like I'm new at this. So little by little, I'll get a little bit better.
It's all good.
But remember to plug yourself and let everyone know again where they can find you, your podcast, all that good stuff.
Well, again, I am Coop from Birmingham, and you can find me actually Coop from Birmingham on social media, Instagram. Don't worry about Facebook. But and you can follow my podcast at Taken Out of Context. Remember, Outa is OUTTA. Taken Out of Context podcast on Instagram and Facebook. And we'll get Twitter situated at some point. But if you can still follow it, is _TOC podcast.
Nice. Well, again, I appreciate you so much. And thank you so much.
No problem. Pleasure's all mine.
Absolutely. And thank you all for joining me on this amazing podcasting journey. Please remember to subscribe and comment and rate us on iTunes and anywhere else that you listen to your podcasts. So we started this podcast asking, what is the definition of success and what does it take to get there? And the answer is simple. Just like beauty, success is in the eye of the beholder. You can be poor and still be more successful than the richest person out there. Success to each person means something different. Ultimately, we all just want to be happy and feel free. Like always, remember to keep an open mind and an open heart. Until next time, toodles everyone!